for, but you a black man like me. That's right, and it's worth something.
This is BLACKWATCH with Commanding General Yahanna, the only man to lead blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans.
God made man on this earth. The white man he made man. God made man. God wants man to obey him.
Bringing you real news.
You don't need a black man in the White House. You need a black man in every black house.
For many years, there's a lot of black people who didn't realize how deep the racism of white America was.
You ain't gonna do nothing unless you decide where you gonna stand at with the Most High.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
Righteous solutions to issues plaguing our nation.
Boy, you better wake up and see the power that is within blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians.
Join us every Monday from 9 to 11 p.m. BLACKWATCH. Let the show begin.
Wrap it up. Let's get it on. Most High in Christ. We're here for Commander General Yahanna tonight. He'll be joining us shortly. Clap it up for General Mayat. Give him a hand. Officer Marah, Officer Yediah. The other young officer downstairs, he'll be back in a second. We're going to get it on tonight, do all of the big stories. We'll hold it down for Commander General Yahanna, who will be here very shortly, all right? Officer Yediah, come on up, down. Get in front of the camera. Let's get it on. Officer Yediah will do the stories. We're going to talk about Bill Cosby. That's going to happen. We're going to discuss Bill Cosby and all of the many facets of the Bill Cosby story. We're going to discuss the sister who was kicked off of the Olympic team for smoking weed and the many facets of that story. Also, we're going to discuss Felicia Rashad and how the Bill Cosby story relates to her. We'll discuss that and what happened to her this week. If you have any other comments or any other important stories, just let us know in the comments. Officer Marah, anything important or pertinent, you just raise your hand and let everybody know about it, all right? The water again to the officer holding it down in the back. I bide. Give him a hand. He just came up, rocking it out with us this week. Officer Yediah, you're up.
Colonel Khan, sir.
Start with the bigger ones first.
Colonel
Start with the weed one or Bill Cosby.
Oh, Colonel Khan.
Go ahead.
Colonel Khan, sir. So back here.
I appreciate it. It's the water.
So back here.
No sweat. Go ahead. As many of you know, the officer is going to bring it out now. Bill Cosby was released from jail this week, right? To give you a brief explanation, which most of you already know right now, the district attorney in Pennsylvania set up Bill Cosby. He dropped charges. He dropped the criminal charges on Bill Cosby, knowing that would free him up and compel him to testify in a civil case. Bill Cosby talked in the civil case because he had no grounds not to talk because there was no threat of criminal charges. Most of you do not know America has the Fifth Amendment. It's the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution, which means that no one can be compelled to not convict themselves. To what?
Incriminate themselves.
To incriminate themselves in court. That's why you don't have to testify at a criminal case. And in a civil case, you don't have to talk about anything that you believe might incriminate yourself. You can simply invoke the Fifth Amendment. That way you didn't lie, but you also didn't say something that you believe might incriminate you. All right. Bill Cosby, however, the charges were dropped against him criminally. So in a civil matter, he had no grounds to say, I invoke the Fifth Amendment. When if a criminal case was pending, then during the civil case, he could have invoked the Fifth Amendment and not answer those questions. But he could not legally not answer those questions at a court deposition. He had to answer them because there was literally no threat of criminal prosecution because the prosecution has already declared that they are not going to pursue the case. So he talked and talked and talked. And during that time, of course, he said that the woman was incoherent or something when he had sex with her. They then, at the end of the civil case, then they filed charges against him criminally and used the civil deposition against him in criminal court, which is illegal. They dropped the case to get him to talk and then reopened the case once he talked to get around the Fifth Amendment, which is absolutely goddamn illegal. Mm-hmm. And for those of you dummies out there that don't understand the American law, let me tell you something that is not debatable. Bill Cosby is innocent. That is not debatable. Right? This is not a discussion. It's not an opinion. He is innocent. Why? Because all of us are innocent until proven guilty. Right. Everyone in America is innocent until proven guilty. Bill Cosby was wrongfully convicted, which means he is innocent of that crime, no more or less innocent than any one of us. He is absolutely innocent. Just to further blow your mind, OJ is not guilty. That's worse, Mayak. OJ ain't just innocent. OJ was tried and proven to have not done it. Right. That's according to the law. That's not debatable. That's not something that's about my opinion or your opinion. Right. Bill Cosby is innocent, and OJ absolutely legally did not do it. And it's done. It's not up for discussion. There should be no controversy if you understand the Constitution that you claim to love on the 4th of July. Right. According to your Constitution, Bill Cosby is innocent and OJ is not guilty. Right. Now let's read the story.
Black protectionism, how Bill Cosby made his assault case a racial justice issue.
If I could, that's speaking about Bill Cosby's attorney. Who has Bill Cosby's words? Someone find that for me if you could. This is Bill Cosby's lawyer. Bill Cosby's lawyer is, of course, smarter than Bill Cosby. And he's trying to make the case that Bill Cosby and his case should be he should be a champion for the rights of wrongfully convicted black men, which is absolutely true. The problem is, much like OJ, Bill Cosby is in love with his slave master. And he is not going to use this story to vindicate all of the brothers who actually are suffering in prison, who actually are suffering and starving with no media attention, no lawyer, no help, and no bail. Bill Cosby is not going to do that. OJ didn't do it either. Keep going.
His legal team has used racial justice talking points to obscure the assault allegations and preserve his public figure, experts say.
Yeah, this is once again some Me Too movement nut. And the Me Too movement, of course, was just about preserving the deification of white women, to make white women gods. Black women, you're going to be in jail, right, on a prison next door to your man. You're going to lose your children and your parental rights along with your husband. But the Me Too movement, of course, hates Bill Cosby because the Me Too movement is about making white women gods and putting their deification into law. That story is garbage. Don't sweat that, all right? What you need actually is just the Bill Cosby story. It's just what happened with Bill Cosby this week. If you have Bill Cosby's actual words, then we can use that. Bill Cosby got out of prison. He got out of prison because he was wrongfully convicted. Is that opinion? No, that is not opinion. That's the Supreme Court of the state of Pennsylvania. That is not my opinion. It is law on the 4th of July, which you are barbecuing and looking at pretty fireworks about. It's law. It's decided. It's not up for debate. Give me the Felicia Rashad story. You would think that what happened with Felicia Rashad would not have been controversial. All I need is the straight up and down Felicia Rashad story, all right? Whenever you're ready, let me know. Mm-hmm. For those of you who are young, Felicia Rashad was on a show called The Cosby Show back in the 80s for about 10 years with Bill Cosby. I think they did a whole nother show for another 3 years, right? So she knows the cat, right? She knows him. And because she knows him when he got out of jail, She tweeted that an injustice has been corrected. Felicia Rashad, from her tweets, I have to assume that she didn't believe he was wrong. She believed that when I say he was wrong, she didn't believe he committed a crime, according to America. She tweeted about it, and because she tweeted about it, she's suffering a backlash. Yedaya.
Khan, Howard University students want Felicia Rashad fired over Cosby tweet.
Now, this, Mayak, when I heard this depressed me because I said, come on now. You telling me at a black school, Felicia Rashad is being hated up? Felicia Rashad is damn near an 80-year-old black woman. Felicia Rashad is old. She's a colored woman up. That's how old she is. She is not black. She's colored. Felicia Rashad is a colored woman who has a job. First of all, the fact that she's even working tells you that we're oppressed. Felicia Rashad is getting up and going to a damn job every day working at Howard University, which means we are under oppression. She's 80 or 75 or God knows what. And now they're trying to get her fired from that job for what, Yedaya?
Khan. Outraged Howard University students and alumni are calling for actress Felicia Rashad to be fired as dean of its College of Fine Arts in the wake of her enthusiastic support of Bill Cosby release from prison.
Guess who else? So because Felicia Rashad supported Bill Cosby's release from prison, now black people at Howard University want her fired. Guess who else supported Bill Cosby's release? The Supreme Court of Pennsylvania. They enthusiastically supported it. You bastards claim to love America. You love barbecues. You love fireworks. That's why I knew when Colin Kaepernick took a knee at football games and you wanted to kill him, I knew you did not love the land of the free. I knew you did not actually believe that there were any freedoms associated with being an American citizen. You don't love freedom. You don't love freedom of speech. You hate freedoms. You hate the freedom of speech. You love barbecues and sin. And that is it. Because here's an opportunity for a woman to actually have the freedom of speech. And now she has to lose her job for agreeing with something that the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania enthusiastically agreed with. Marab.
Allah Panya, Barak.
Yahweh
Shem Yahweh Shah Barakatah.
Yahweh Shem Shabakathum.
Clap it up.
What? How's it going, General?
Kind of one sir.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Hey, that, you know, it's a heavy thing that went down with the Black Lives Matter movement, General. The Black Lives Matter. If I asked a question to a group of sisters just the other day, I said, out of the Black Lives Matter movement, what black man emerged as a new civil rights type leader based on all those worldwide riots? Who emerged that way? And they thought about it and pondered and thought about it and pondered, and they said nobody. And I said, you're right. They made sure that no black man rose to prominence during the Black Lives Matter protests around the world, which was stupid and ridiculous in certain ways. In certain ways. You understand? So what happened, what's happening now is the whole movement of protesting, of fighting for civil rights is leaving the authority of men, and they are trying to give it to the authority of women. And in giving it to the authority of women, women do what women do, which is think of themselves. You know what I mean? Unless they know the truth. They thinking of themselves. And that's why no longer is a black man going to be able to be supported if anything he does remotely seems like it did something that could affect a black woman. Because once again, I think it was you, General Muhammad, that did the analogy on how OJ chopped off the white woman's head. And black people still cheered when he got out of was it you? It was you, right?
Kind of one.
You want to break it down?
No, please, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, General Muhammad brought out a hell of an analogy. When can y'all hear me fine?
Kind of one kind.
Okay, when O.J. Simpson supposedly killed Nicole Simpson, O.J. Simpson was cheered when he got freed from prison simply because black people knew the injustice that happened to them so often. Even though they knew that this was not right, that if he had killed her, they were still ecstatic at the fact that for once somebody beat the white man at his own legal game.
Damn
Something
right.
that almost never happens with us.
Forget about it.
But now that the movement is moving from black men, except of course for the I.S.U.P.K, now these women now are more interested in offenses that happens to women rather than offenses that happens to us as a whole. The Black Lives Matter people already said on their website they want to destroy the family structure. They want to destroy the how's the word go?
Patriarchy.
Right. They want to destroy that. And the reason they want to destroy it is because they want to be able to bring in all these alternative lifestyles. Black men better stand up immediately and take the leadership on this. Not saying Bill Cosby was innocent or anything like that, but Bill Cosby made a deal. That stinking rat prosecutor made a deal with him. A deal that got millions into the hands of that white woman whom he said he did to many women, put drugs in their drinks and so forth. But he only came out with it because they made a deal which put millions in her hand. Mm-hmm. But of course, that prosecutor didn't believe he had the hold to that thing. He didn't have to hold to it because it was Bill Cosby. If it had been any Edomite off the street, he would have held to that deal. And that's why the state of Pennsylvania said, hell no. They stopped it because they know if prosecutors make deals and people confess and then they go back on the deals, then people will know they're a bunch of damn liars and will never come out with any confession or make any deal with them, and the courthouse would be empty.
That's right.
The damn courthouse would be empty. So he made that Edomite rich. Not saying he was innocent. You know, I trashed him big time. I trashed Bill Cosby big time because I was appalled when he came out and told black men to be a good hamburger flipper. And he had the nerve to come out and tell black men that. Like, everybody wants black people to behave, but nobody wants to stop black people suffering. You want them to behave and listen to the police and to walk a straight line and not get drunk at a bar and not beat their wife or get high or anything like that. But you don't want to get the oppressor's neck off of them. I mean, boot off of their damn neck. And Bill Cosby had the nerve in the height of black suffering to open his big mouth and tell black men to go work in a burger joint and be a good hamburger flipper. Meanwhile, they haven't had minimum wage hike in 15 years.
That's right.
While they're getting richer and inflating everything more and more, and the empire spending billions to build the empire. But meanwhile, black people that's poor can't even get McDonald's, one of the biggest corporations in America, to raise its minimum wage a little bit after 15 years. The nerve of him to open his mouth. So I trashed him on it. But like you brought out, he did like anybody's supposed to do. He made a deal in his case, and them bastards was supposed to uphold that deal. But Felicia Rashad making that statement about a black man in a high profile case should have opened our eyes to see that the new campaign between the alternative lifestyle agenda, I'm getting off of it, between the alternative lifestyle agenda and everything else that they're pushing, we should be able to begin to see that they want to now use our women against us in an extraordinary way. The water, General.
No sweat. Most High in Christ. You died. Sir, continue with this.
No, let's go. I mean, unless y'all got somebody else going to bring something else, we could jump in. Did you do number 2 on that list?
No, sir.
Can we do number 2, then number 5 on your list?
Number 2.
What?
because that's an incredible list, man. Big shout, if I could, real quick. Okay, big shout out to the TITHES, man, putting the stories together, doing an amazing job. You understand? Big shout out to him. Big shout out to General SHALAM. Built us a hell of a website and is working with the BLACKWATCH News. And he's working with is it the other TITHES? Who's that? What's the brother's name in South Carolina? Not he's working with him heavily to work on say again?
The Gadite Natazar.
Not right. The Gadite Natazar. He's working heavily with him to revamp the entire website and give every city their own page within the website, in the body of the website. And I hear it's going to be amazing. So big shout out to General SHALAM, man, for all the great work he's doing. We thanking the Most High for him, man. And of course the whole heavy hitting crew pushing this out. So I'm done. Go ahead, you die. Go to number 2. I don't want to jump all over you, General.
Colonel Wakan. Man who espoused troubling white supremacist rhetoric skipped others to shoot and kill the only 2 black people he encountered after crashing stolen truck in Massachusetts.
Damn. Go ahead.
Colonel Wakan, sir. The suspect involved in a fatal weekend shooting in Massachusetts that left 2 innocent bystanders dead was in possession of handwritten notes containing white supremacist rhetoric. The shooting is now being investigated as a hate crime. The gunman, 28-year-old Nathan Allen, stole a box truck on the afternoon of June 26 and rammed it into a home. Although no one was inside at the time, Allen then got out the vehicle and shot 2 black bystanders. 68-year-old David Green, a retired Massachusetts State Police trooper, and Ramona Cooper, a 60-year-old Air Force veteran.
So he saw the only 2 black people in the crowd. He waded through everybody else and murdered those 2. And amazing, he murdered 2 people who worked for the state. 2 people, one was a military person, one was a cop, both of them protecting the state of Massachusetts from the enemies, domestic and abroad.
That's right.
And he murdered both of them. Okay, which is phenomenal, which is absolutely phenomenal. And if I can I add, was y'all gonna say something? Was y'all jumping in?
No, Salakia.
If I could just jump in on this, I just wanted to say this, General, that what black people fail to realize with all this that's going on is that by putting Barack Obama and now Kamala Harris and others, by putting them in these offices, you're in essence telling white America that they can no longer have heaven. Like in white people's subconscious, heaven is them in charge, them ruling. That's in every cartoon, every child story, half the movies, television. Like they are as much as they have reinforced the mind of black people and Latino people that we are slaves. That's how much they reinforce the minds of white people that they are in heaven and should be ruling.
That's right.
And brother, they operate like they are ruling. And when you tell them, we're going to take you out your rulership and really you're going to have to share power with black people, it kills them inside. It kills them inside. It's equivalent to telling them we're going to put you in slavery. That's also why it's so stupid to try to teach critical race theory to white people. That is the dumbest thing in the world. Critical race theory should be taught to blacks and Latinos and Native Indians, because you're teaching white people critical race theory is saying to them, you are not a benevolent God. You are instead a foul being that needs to be punished for what it's done. And white people can't swallow that. They can't handle that. And which is why they have to be punished by the Most High. You trying to convince them to change their mind and accept that is ridiculous. You are in essence helping to breed more serial killers and mass shooters. Like you wonder why they rioted in that Capitol on the 6th. It was because in essence, when Obama got in office, in black people's mind, it was justice because now Obama is in office and now America's going to be fair. But to white people, it was, wait a minute, we are not the gods we thought we are. We are not the holy people that always have to be in charge and that always disseminate among the other lower people. And to them, it was the only way they could justify him being in office was to say it was a mistake. And Donald Trump gave them the mistake by saying it was a false birth certificate. And so as a result, white people felt back like, oh, it's not that we got to share power with black people. It's just it was a mistake. So we can fix the mistake. We can get Donald Trump. We can fix the mistake and put ourselves back in heaven. And when they lost the election with Donald Trump, it was paramount to saying that you, once again, you are not going to be in heaven by yourself.
That's right.
And they lost their damn mind. It has to be something wrong if somebody black gets in charge. And that's what black people better learn, because you're trying to force a beast to try to understand you intellectually and try to give you justice intellectually. And you're telling them to get out of heaven. But you got to let the Lord do that. You got to go serve the Most High. I'm done with it. Salakia, y'all.
Yeah, that's right. Most, give him a hand. Most Christ. You died.
Next story.
Please, sir. Next story. The 5, I believe he wants.
If you could, right, General, if you could, is any way we could tie that story? Any way we could tie that story to those brothers that went up there in that militia?
Yeah.
Because that was also in Massachusetts during the same weekend. And particularly, I don't know if Marah and Yediah can pull this one off, but is there any way you could get the footage? Because there was a tape out on Facebook with, I might be able to get you the link. Oh no, I can't. But there's a
story for you now if you want about the Moorish Americans.
Yeah, but if you could get the video, the video is so important. The video of him talking, the leader of the group, dressed up in American tactical gear, making a statement about what is going on out. And if you hear this statement, I mean, I felt sorry for these brothers here, because these brothers do not have a clue what they should be doing in this earth. But they mean well. Their heart is in the right place. They just ignorant as they could be to what they should need to know. Is there any way you can get that, Marah?
Sir, I'm looking forward now, sir.
Okay, if anybody could get that video, man, somebody throw that link up, because these brothers, let's read the story. Go ahead, Yediah. I don't mean to jump all over it. Go ahead.
You want number 5, sir? Or do you want me to look for that story that you're talking about now?
Look for that story that I'm talking about. Then we'll come back to number 5 if it's all right.
Okay. While he's looking for it, sir, what was that story about?
What happened was these brothers who went up, sad. These brothers who joined the Moorish Americans. For those of you that may not know who the Moorish Americans are, they're a group of black people who believe that they are descendants of the Moors and not descendants of the slaves. They pulled up a treaty from the 1600s or the 1800s or something, where the United States made a treaty with Morocco to not enslave Morocco citizens. Morocco wanted to do business with America, so they set up Moroccan citizens to be able to come to the United States, do business, and then get on a ship and go back to Morocco without being put in slavery like other black people that were brought over from Africa. Okay? I can keep going? You want me to keep going?
I got it.
He found it. Unless you want him to start now, he did find it.
Okay. And so with that treaty, let me just say this. So with that treaty, they do not believe in things like driver's licenses and gun licenses. They believe that they are sovereign from American society, almost like a diplomat would be. They think that they're kind of like a diplomat, where they don't have to deal with society. Now, here's where they've been getting in trouble at. They have been getting in trouble by not paying taxes and going to court and saying that they're sovereign and they don't have to pay taxes, and getting in all types of court battles, okay, with the United States.
If I could, sir, and not paying their mortgage and rent either.
Yeah, and they have caused many people have followed them, and people have lost $1 million homes following them and believing that they could, not pay their taxes, not pay their mortgage, and that they could fight in court and say that, I'm sovereign and I'm this, not put their picture on a driver's license, not even have a driver's license, and a bunch of stuff like that. And then in the middle of the night, going to some kind of tactical training on the same weekend that the Massachusetts murderer just killed 2 black people. They stopped to get gas and got out their vehicles with long guns and tactical gear and scared the hell out of Massachusetts state troopers. No, not this. You got the one where he's talking, where the militia cat is. I'm not talking about the news story. I'll take the news story if you got it, Marab. But boy, if somebody could send Muhammad the link or send Marab the link of the brother talking, is on Facebook or YouTube. He put the tape out because he really espoused what they dealing with, and you get to really see the pain that black men is going through and how they do not know how to get out of it. If you could find it.
I think I might have found it.
Oh man, please, if you could play that video, because I understand. General Muhammad and I was discussing this the other day. Like, we understand how brothers are tired of the white man's BS, tired of the murdering and the suffering, and want to do something about it. But if you don't do it according to the Most High and lawfully, then you just don't know what you're doing. You think you know what you're doing, but you really do not. Whenever y'all ready, jump in with it. Salakia.
Okay. I-95 partially closed for hours after police standoff with armed men. 11 people were taken into custody Saturday after an hours-long standoff with police early Saturday outside of Boston. While police engaged in negotiation, members of the groups engaged the public on social media saying their group was called Rise of the Moors. The heavily armed men were said to be driving from Rhode Island to Maine for training. The incident started around 1:30 a.m. when state police noticed 2 cars stopped at the side of I-95 near Wicksfield, Massachusetts, apparently out of fuel. As troopers stopped to assist, they noticed that some individuals near the cars had military-style gear and were carrying long guns and pistols. Massachusetts State Police Commissioner Christopher Mason told reporters, "You can imagine 11 armed individuals standing with long guns slung on an interstate highway at 2 a.m. certainly raises concerns and is not consistent with the firearms laws that we have in Massachusetts," Mason said.
Yeah, in other words, they scared the hell out of them. And then when the troopers stepped to them about it, of course, being into this Moorish science, they felt like they didn't have to just, come out with gun permits and driver's licenses.
That's it.
And so this, you say again, General?
No, that was it, sir.
Yeah. So the cops tried to take them into custody, and they ran in the woods. Salakia, trying to get away, which is once again why it's so dumb. Is this the video? I think you got it.
Oh.
Yes. You gotta hear. You gotta hear this brother. How misguided this brother is. This is a misguided brother. If this is it.
Just like me play the video, sir?
Yeah, if you could play the part where the Jake is talking, if this is that video.
Yeah.
That might be just a newsreel, though.
Middle of the night, pulled over along the highway in 2 vehicles.
State 95 near
that's it.
57.4.
State police say stream the standoff on social media.
We are on the Interstate 95 near exit 57.4.
State police say one of their troopers had come across the men in the middle of the night, pulled over along the highway.
See, Esau putting his spin on it.
Putting fuel in one of
listen, these brothers was not
style gear and carrying.
These brothers was not trying to harm Esau. That's why they ran in the woods. They wasn't trying to go toe to toe with Esau. These are brothers who are in pain, like all of us, for all the hell that has happened to us in this kingdom. And they want a way out. They want to, exercise some freedoms. but they just don't know how to go about it because what they believe in is Moroccan philosophy that has nothing to do with us. We are not Moroccans, man. A ton of brothers came out with that after Martin Luther King's speech. A lot of black people were stuck in Washington, D.C. after the Martin Luther King March on Washington. They settled in there. Some of them had farms and all that right there in Maryland around Washington, D.C. And as a result, they turned around and started studying the history in D.C. And that's when they came up with the idea that, you know, they are descendants of the Moors, when in fact they're not descendants of the Moors. They're descendants of the same black people that was put into slavery, like the rest of Black America. I don't want to hog it up. Y'all jump in, please.
Oh, please, sir. If I could, sir. Marad, do you have the video of the cat talking? Go ahead and play it, please. Okay. I believe we had the video of the cat from the Moorish Americans talking. This Moorish American story, once again, about a group of 11 Moorish Americans who were going out to have tactical training in the woods somewhere with no licenses, no legal right to have the guns in America. But like every American, they want freedom. These Moorish Americans want the things that white people take for granted. They want freedom. They want to be free, and they don't want to be oppressed. They want the same thing that every white man has in abundance: the ability to feel like a man and not have your will broken by the police. Every white man has that every day. These brothers want the same thing, but here's the problem. They don't want it enough. They don't want it enough. They want it enough to get guns. They wanted enough to not comply with the orders of police, but they don't want it enough to give up homosexuality, to give up lying, to give up stealing, to give up smoking weed. The problem with every faux black revolutionary is that you are not serious enough. You don't want your goals enough. It's the same story with that sister smoking weed and Bill Cosby and the police system and the prison system and the Black Lives Matter movement and the Me Too movement. You complain about oppression. You complain about what happens when our oppressor puts his knee on our neck, and you hate it, but you never hate it enough to change.
That's right.
That's your problem. Yep. And because you don't hate it enough, it will continue. You're going to run through the woods, running and hiding from the police while you are fully armed, head to toe. And in the end, you're going to come out with your hands up and comply to real free men, to actual men who are free, actual men who have the thing that you claim to want so bad, but you don't want it enough to give up smoking marijuana. You don't want it enough to give up homosexuality, to give up eating pork, eating shrimp. How many of you black revolutionaries celebrated the 4th of July?
Right.
Ask yourself that question. How many of you that hated the fact that Derek Chauvin had his knee on the neck of your brother, how many of you still lit sparklers today? Lit fireworks? How many of you had hot dogs, ballpark franks on buns and mustard? The same people that were in the street marching against police brutality. You hate oppression, you just don't hate it enough. See, in the UPK, we hate it enough. Enough. We hate oppression enough. We hate death enough. And that's why you call us a cult. Simply because we're willing to hate death enough to live a new life. To live a brand new life. That's how much we hate death. You hate death a little, I guess. Some. So far as I can see, you marching about it. I assume you hate it a little bit.
Right.
You march a little taste about it.
Right.
Yeah, but it ain't how we hate it.
Yeah, man.
I hate it. He hated something terrible. That's all way ridiculous. So crazy you say he's a cult leader. He hates it, Salakia, sir.
Salakia the water. Yo, man.
Damn.
That's the truth.
You know,
That's so the truth.
Another level, Maya.
Yeah.
Go
ahead, General. No. Let the general Salah.
The stronghold that America's Christian society has on the Israelites, the 12 tribes, blacks and Hispanics. It got such a hold on us and such a brainwashing that, you know, they believe, like you said, they go to the extreme for this freedom. Man, we do anything. And they get the guns and they get the weapons and they act like Esau, thinking that's the most extreme you could do. Yeah. But what they don't understand, because of Christianity, because of America, is it the most extreme thing you could do, like the general been bringing out. If you want freedom, if you want justice, you got to change yourself. That's harder than carrying them guns. That's harder than those militias. Stop eating pork, shrimp, crab. Stop celebrating 4th of July, Christmas, Easter. To change and follow these laws that the Most High has in this Bible, that's the extreme way. If you really want freedom, you know, that's what the general bringing out. But in our minds, extreme is being like our enemy and being a murderer and be ready to kill, ready to shoot up everything with all your weapons in your arsenal. That ain't the most extreme thing. Guess what? Right. That's easier than giving up that pork. That's easier than giving up the shrimp and stop smoking and stop getting high. The guns is easier than that. You want to do something hard and impress your God and get him behind you, change yourself, man. Look in the mirror and change that nigga right there.
That's it.
That's it.
That's right.
Look at him, GEN.YAHANNA. He is from Call of Duty.
Please, Marab, please play the tape.
Sir.
Salah, General, can he please play that tape? You got to hear this cat.
Play it, please.
Marab, can you go back to the beginning or to the part before he starts saying we talked to the troopers, we told them we not anti-police, we not extremists, we not play the tape.
Notifying their chain of command of what's going on. We're still here. We're still safe. The lieutenant has informed us that they're going to move some of their vehicles, and they're doing that now. It's cold out here, so I'm shivering. That's why I sound like this. We've been out here since about 2 a.m. It's about 4 a.m. It's so we've been out here since 1:53 a.m. It is July 3rd, 2021. We are in North America, Morocco. We are on the Interstate 95 near exit 57.4. The mile marker is right near this police vehicle, which they're going to be moving it soon, and I'll be able to walk up because I don't want them to think anything funny. But in fact, I'll just show you for the record because we already assured them that we're going to be peaceful, so they have nothing to worry about. But the mile marker was right here. So that's who we are. I reassured them that we are not sovereign citizens. I reassured them that we are not black identity extremists. I reassured them that we are not anti-police. I reassured them that we are not anti-government. I reassured them that these men here will not be pointing guns at them. I reassured them that we're trying to come to a peaceful resolution. I reassured them that I'm willing to give them any information that is necessary to ensure that we can come to a peaceful resolution, so that way they can issue a summons to us in court and handle this civilized. I've also specified how, according to the United States Supreme Court, Younger versus the state of Hawaii, the United States Supreme Court stated how the possession of a firearm.
Listen, you can stop right there, Marab. That's the whole problem.
Which means they have no right
like that,
or authority to detain us.
Like that's his problem right there. He said we informed them we not extremists, we not anti-government, we not anti-police. Then he goes and quotes a Supreme Court case claiming that they have sovereignty to carry their weapons. You can bring it back to me, that they got sovereignty to carry those weapons. Like that brother is so misguided. Like that little bit of heat, brother, changed his whole mindset. And they should not be carrying any guns or breaking any laws. Like what good is it to break the law of the land, which the Lord said not to do, if you're not able to enforce your breaking of the law? Right. Like I don't get it. Like, what is the point of breaking the law when you can't enforce breaking the law? Like, you can't decide what law Esau says you have sovereignty over. I mean, you can't decide what laws you have sovereignty over based on what you read in his paperwork, and then you can't even enforce it. Then when he come to get you, then it's, I understand how they feel. Like you said, we all want to be free. We all want this oppressor off our neck. But doing it without the Most High in Christ and not changing you and not deciding to have a different life. Listen, he sounds educated in Esau's school. He sounds like the more he's trying to get free, the more he's going into Esau's world. And it was dumb and stupid to be riding up on the highway with no licenses for their weapons, which is illegal to take unregistered weapons across state lines. That's illegal. No, even if you own the weapon legally, and even if the state that you're in allows you to have weapons, it's illegal to carry them across state lines if they are unregistered. Okay, so them 11 cats, and really, somebody was trying to say something. I'm sorry.
Sir.
And on top of that, okay, I mean, it was just a sad thing. Once again, bad leadership. Like that cat there, man, he got 11 brothers' lives in his hand, and he's making the most horrible decisions you could make when you have people's lives in your hand and you have serious responsibilities. Like General Muhammad, just like you brought out and General Mayat brought out, you got to hate this place enough to do what it really takes to change this place. Like to change to change our lives and to change the surroundings around us. You're gonna have to hate this place enough to do the things that actually matter. And you're gonna have to be smart enough. And you'll only get this wisdom from the scriptures to know what to attack that is destroying you first. Like when we came out back in the day saying that the evilest thing in the black community is the Christian church, black people fainted damn near in front of us. Black people fainted on the street because they didn't understand how could we say we are pro-black and we about black people's upliftment, but say that the black church was the evilest thing that ever happened in the black community. To them, it was insanity. But it wasn't insanity to us because we examined the real issues that were destroying black people, that was really holding us back. Like you having enough guns and being able to go to a training camp with no licenses will change absolutely nothing. If the white man decides tomorrow, every Moorish American don't have to pay taxes, don't have to pay a mortgage, don't have to have a driver's license, don't have to register their car, don't have to register their guns. If they did it tomorrow, you would still get high and kill yourself. You would still buy whores and celebrate 4th of July. You would still chase white women. You understand? You would still do those same things, and you would fix absolutely nothing in the black community. That's it.
No sweat. And if I could, sir, this story is so emblematic of the problem with black people and Hispanic people who think they are experts at anything.
Yeah.
Just like drug addiction. Every Moorish American, just like every member of the so-called conscious community, all of them are amateur attorneys. All of them.
Yeah, come on.
They're all amateur physicians.
Right. Yes.
You know why they're amateur physicians and amateur attorneys? Because they're not willing to make the sacrifice to be real physicians or real attorneys. So all of them think Hawaii, the state of Hawaii versus the Pennsylvania DAS 337. They think they know the law because they haven't been to law school.
Right.
So that makes them an expert on the law because they don't know anything about it. It's like their ignorance empowers them because the actual lawyer knows you can't pull Supreme Court cases to a cop. This is not a courtroom, Ak.
Yeah.
This is not where they decide the law out on the street. That's what you say to beat the case.
That's right.
Once you get arrested, they take your guns, they throw you in jail for a year. Now you get your lawyer to bring up Hawaii v. Massachusetts, Hawaii v. Stuyvesant, this law, that law. But on the street, let me tell you where Supreme Court cases are formed. after people get locked up in jail for 5 years, 10 years.
Right.
Then they get to the Supreme Court and they're vindicated. But you must get arrested. That's the path to laws going to court. You have to get arrested to make the Supreme Court, right?
Damn.
You don't stop a cop from arresting you with legal precedent. That's for court. But you're an amateur attorney, like you're an amateur doctor who drinks cucumber juice to get rid of cancer. I got you. You're an amateur this. Your whatever thing is not hard.
Yeah.
If you get pulled over on the way to the revolution because the car smells like weed, you don't really want revolution.
That's right.
You're not really into revolution. If there's a cloud of smoke coming from the car, that's the vehicle that you're driving with all of your guns to revolution, you don't really want a revolution. Now, can I tell you a quick story that taught me so much? Commanding General Yohanna, when I was an officer of 5,000, he took me out to Sheep's Head Bay, New York, to go fish for bluefish. Now, these things is big, like 20 pounds. So we out there, brother, and we on the damn boat, and we bringing in these damn fish, this fish, brother, and it is taking all of my might to get this fish on the boat. And I mean, I'm whoa, and we fighting, and my kid, yeah, that's right. And listen, and at the end of it, my shirt was covered in blood from cutting the fish and getting them on the boat. And then we get the fish back to the Bronx, and we eat it. I started eating it, going. I remember telling him, like, why is this fish so good? Like, it was like, like, well, I've had fish like 1,000 damn times, but this fish was like, damn, is it because it's so fresh? But we put it in the freezer for a couple of days. It wasn't technically fresh. And I asked him, and he said, it's because you work for it. That's what he said. I remember it hit my head like, okay, this isn't like, smoking weed and getting so high with no work. This isn't like buying a prostitute, having an orgasm for no work. This isn't like being a legal expert with no law school.
Right.
Like understanding how to cure cancer with no 8 years of med school, 4 years of an internship. This is actually working for the thing that I want, and this is better. And the conscious community and Black society in a nutshell believes in getting what you want the quick way, which means you never get it. You can be free. You can relieve yourself of police brutality. You can be a free man, but you're going to have to work. You can understand the law and medicine and everything, but it's going to take about 12 years of your life where you can't get high and you can't even sleep for about 12 years of minimal sleep. Then you could cure cancer. You could cure drug addiction. You could solve your problems, but it will take giving up the thing that you don't want to give up yourself.
Right.
That's right. And if could I add one small thing to it, General? Was Haas getting ready to come in?
Nah, sir.
Okay, I was just going to add what you're saying is so right, because if trying to be able to walk around with guns without a gun license is your fight, then you don't have no fight.
No.
If trying to drive a car on I-95 with no driver's license is your championship fight, then you ain't fighting for nothing.
No.
Like you fighting to just, like you satisfied with, I'm a sovereign citizen, I don't need a driver's license. Then what, you're not fighting for anything. No. You know what I mean? You're certainly not fighting for your brothers and sisters, because that requires you changing you.
There you go.
You understand? That requires that. And brother, if you don't do that, you're not fighting for anything. And that's why that thing is, just nonsense. Salak and Tawada for bringing that out on the story, Jim. You got number 5 in there?
Colonel Wakan, I have it, sir.
Let's jump on it if y'all don't mind.
Colonel Wakan. First transgender woman crowned Miss Nevada USA. My win is our win.
Is that a black dude or a white dude?
We got to look it up. I don't know.
See if you can get Miss Nevada.
The transgender. Black Lives Matter. That's what the Black Lives Matter movement is really about.
Mm-hmm.
The Black Lives Matter movement, sir, is really a gay movement. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
No different. It's exactly the same thing. It has nothing to do with black people at all. It's the gay movement camouflaged as the black movement so that black people can become the army for the transgenders, and that's that.
That's
so
right.
You have
and once again, like just like you brought out a minute ago, like your fight, I knew it. I knew it. Which one is it? That's on the left or the right? Which brother is it?
They both look a little rough.
Is it the brother on the left or the right? I guess you can't tell. I don't think it's the brother in the middle.
Bottom.
Which one? In the pink.
It's like so. It
got to be in the pink, right? It got to be
okay
because he won.
Now, once again, of course, I knew it was going to be some either black or Latino brother that they was going to crown.
Yeah,
you understand, or one that at least looked black or Latino, because this is an agenda. And like you brought out too, General, like if you're gonna really stand up against the evil, you're gonna have to stand up against evil that is real evil. Like this right here, this is real evil. This right here is something to fight, because this right here is going to influence tens of thousands of our babies. This is going to influence tens of thousands of black people and Latino people's children whose parents do not know better. So while you standing on I-95 trying to convince the state troopers that you don't need a driver's license because you're a sovereign citizen, this brother right here gonna put on a dress, put on a tiara on his head, and he's going to be convincing thousands of our children to destroy our future by walking away from the blessing of the Most High in marriages, man. Like that's what he's getting ready to do. The biggest and best trade-off that you could ever have in a relationship is the fact that your woman gives you some sons. That is the biggest trade. Like that's worth everything you're gonna have to go through. Is that you're gonna get some sons and some daughters from your children. Now you be able to do that. You got a hell of a trade-off. You understand? You got a hell of a gift of human life. Now, if you're going into that lifestyle, you giving up that gift, and you giving it up to a people who are not only just chosen by the Most High, but have a history of other nations trying to genocide them, including this one. And you're going to turn around and walk away from all that. That's something to really fight. Not, I'll get a driver's license. I'll pay the $39. I will take the photograph and I will get the driver's license and drive up the damn road. Because that ain't going to change nothing. But if I fight this, put that picture up one more time, Mara. But fighting this brother right here and his ideology, which comes from the beast that rules over us, fighting that ideology, now that's something that we should be doing. That's something worth getting pulled over on I-95 for. That's something to be up 2 o'clock in the morning for. That's a reason to stand up and come up against something. Is that right there? Because of the damage that's going to be done in amongst us because of it. And the Lord is not stupid. The Lord said that offense is a death penalty offense in Christ's kingdom.
Come.
In Christ's kingdom, you engaged in that behavior, and it's a death sentence according to the Lord. And it is a very, very evil thing. Salakia.
If I could, sir, this is so stupid and so ignorant. And once again, when I look at the world today, I see it's the same as the world of yesterday. Years ago, back during the Renaissance, our oppressor was saying that the earth was flat.
That's right.
The Bible says the earth is round. That's in the Bible. Yeah, the earth is round. Our oppressor says it's flat. The Bible had to come against it. Now, here we are in 2018. People thought the earth was flat again.
Yes, they did.
The entire flat earth movement where you had to prove that the earth was not flat. I'm not surprised. Let me help you out with another simple truth. That's not a woman. Transgenders are not women. The earth is not flat.
Damn right.
It's not offensive. It's not an insult. It's just the truth. Women who cannot have children are women who cannot have children.
That's right, sir.
Men who cannot have children are men, because no man can have a child, right?
Sir.
We're just men, because transgenders are not women. Transgenders are men in dresses and skirts, with plastic surgery, with hormone therapy, with beauty pageant crowns on their head. But they're men, and also, I hate to break this to you, the earth is also not flat. The earth is round. I got to tell you that too. And if I could, one last thing, sir. Where is the woman's movement at?
Right.
Where's the woman's movement? This is a white man or man taking the job of a woman.
Yeah.
That's right.
Are you telling me the woman's movement isn't going to stand up and defend the right for a woman to have a job? You complain because women get paid 70% of what a man gets paid. Now, white men and men, period, are going to take 100% of the pay meant for women. Men are taking the jobs of women. You don't understand the oppressor. I'm an Israelite, so I'll explain it to you. Years ago, our oppressor decided to give casinos to the North American Indian in a form of restitution for what happened to them in America. And do you know who these casinos were given to? Chief Albert Weinstein. That's who these casinos were given to. And white men stepped up who said, I'm 2/5 North American Indian on my cousin's side. And casinos right now are owned by white men calling themselves Chief Albert Weinstein. I am not exaggerating. You can look this up. White men own North American Indian casinos. Why? Because they can prove on their father's side, on their mother's side, they're 3/5 of a quarter of North American Indian. And guess what? They actually have the investment money to take the casino, where someone who's a full-blooded Gadite, he doesn't have the investment money. So the only people you can find with the investment money for the casino is Chief Albert Weinstein. And he's the chief. He owns a casino. Let me tell you what's going to happen. If this world begins to give women opportunities where women can make money, get rich, white men are going to put on wigs and take that money.
Yep.
That's all they're going to do.
Yep.
White men don't have our oppressor, Salakia. He's not immoral or moral. He's just
greedy. Just a greedy, or just a
he doesn't care about right and wrong.
Just an animal.
Yeah. If there is millions of dollars to be made in women's sports, a white man is going to put a wig on and get that money, brother. He's going to do it. He's going to say, yeah, I'm a woman. I'm the #1 woman's boxer on the planet Earth. The minute I heard that there was a $3 million purse for this boxing event, I self-identified as a woman. I'm here to knock these bitches out and take their money. He's going to do it. And because of the movement, you're going to have to act like he's a woman, and he's going to knock your teeth out your head. Do you understand how bad this is, sir? Your whole life, sir, you were told never to hit a woman. That's what you were taught. You know that a man can put a wig on and get into an MMA ring with a woman and knock her teeth out and break her arm. Men in wigs are allowed to beat women. Are you telling me you're not going to have volunteers for that? The line is going to be around the corner to beat women up from men who always wanted to beat up a woman. And they're going to get in boxing rings and MMA rings. They're going to put on a wig and they're going to beat your wife to piss. And you're not going to be able to complain for fear of being called, what's the word for anti-gay?
Homophobic or something, homophobic or some other thing.
You're going to have to let that man beat your wife or else you're homophobic. Someone should step up for the rights of a woman. Already Commanding General Yohanna has the job. The water, sir. The water for
super kind,
women, defending women who work their entire lives to win Miss USA. who go learn to play the piano and learn to do ballet and eat right and exercise so they can win the competition, all for a man to step up and take it from her the way white men step up and take everything from a woman. The water being the one and only defender of women, sir. The water.
Most High Christ. You know what I mean? Damn right. That was heavy, Jim. He was right. You died. You got number 7? Let's do number 7, y'all.
Sir.
Damn, look at that there. Damn.
Good Lord. Oh, my God. There you go. That's what they want.
I think the term he's looking for, non-moral, is an actual word.
Amoral,
it's
immoral.
Not for it or against it. He's just
amoral.
concerned about
it's amoral.
Amoral is against it. I know this is moral, but I'm against it.
Whatever you say.
Non-moral. Non-moral.
Crazy.
Fresh Prince actor Janet Hubert calls out Felicia Rashad for Bill Cosby support.
What's the name?
Oh, Fresh Prince actress Janet Hubert calls out Felicia Rashad for Bill Cosby support.
That's Aunt Viv, sir.
That's Aunt Viv. Aunt Viv. Aunt Viv been beefing up for the last 20 years. Huh? Aunt Viv mad at everybody, huh? You know what I mean? Like what's going to happen is it's about to be a groundswell of hatred towards heterosexual black men. Mm-hmm. Like it's going to be they're going to line it up. They along with pushing the gay and lesbian and transsexual agenda. They're going to also push hard for straight women to turn on black men. Once again, we brought it out, like the Lord brought it out in the scriptures, where he said, I shall make a man more precious than fine gold. Now you see the road of a black man being, and a Latino or Native Indian man becoming more precious than fine gold. We on that road now because they're getting ready to try to wipe out every last bit of black masculinity. Let's see what she got to say about this. This is her statement.
Please, sir, come.
I'm not sure, sir, but I'm gonna play the video.
It's a gift. So
this might be from her show though, because it got the yeah. Let's read the statement.
Marah, read it. You see it?
Kanawakan. Felicia, what are you thinking? I don't know what to say. This was terribly wrong. Everyone knew that he was everyone knew what he was doing back then. How could you not? Get your umbrella, sister. Here comes the ish shower. I am outraged that he has been released. He is an old he is an old ASS guilty man.
Right. They mad as hell that he got out, which show you in America, don't nobody give a damn about justice. They don't care about the laws and the rules and all that. They act like that, but they don't really give a damn about it. She's an intelligent woman. She knows good and well that they should have never locked him up, even though he is a rapist. But damn, how many white men raped and murdered black women from slavery on up to today? How many black men been murdered every day? You mad that Bill Cosby got out of jail? You ain't that mad that white cops have been shooting and murdering black men every day in America? You ain't mad at that, but you so mad that Bill Cosby got out because that is the mindset of a wicked, selfish, black man hating woman. Like this woman been hating. I see why Will Smith fired her ass off that job.
Yeah, that's it.
Because she treated, according to him, she treated him like he wasn't shit when he was the star of the show. Like the way he put it was like she was just arrogant and felt like because she went to acting school that he was a nobody and she was something great. And she mad and bitter like so many black women sitting up in these churches are today. Yeah, Bill Cosby admitted he was a rapist, but he also made a deal with them devils, which they make every day. They get 1/3 of the prison sentences that we get for the exact same crime. They are always deferred to work release programs and programs like that. to keep them out of the penitentiary. You understand? Like now, all of a sudden, you outraged because one black man beat the rape charge when this white man been beating the rape charge since the days we came off the ships in slavery. Why is that such a big deal? You understand? Like the white woman got to get justice no matter what. Like she probably was so glad OJ got caught afterwards and locked up after he beat the case. When all the crimes they committing against us, what about them 13 women that they caught that white cop who was going around raping them women out in the Midwest somewhere, one of the Midwest towns, I think it was St. Louis or one of them. I don't know if y'all remember that case. Right. He was like halfway China man, and his daddy was an Edomite. He riding around in his patrol car, raping black women, running their record and seeing they got a criminal record and pulling out his rod and sticking his rod in their mouth while they sitting in the back of a patrol car. You understand? And 13 of them. It wasn't no whole bunch of outrage over him. And how many of them been charged with it and got away with it? You know what I mean? Who was mad when they beat Rodney King like a runaway slave with shackles and chains on him, was beating him halfway to death and just never stopped beating black people after that? You understand? Like, she's full of shit. Excuse my French. She's full of crap. You understand? Because now all of a sudden you so mad, and Felicia Rashad shouldn't have said that. Once again, Bill Cosby admitted he was raping them women and putting drinks in them. He was date raping them and putting stuff in their drink. He's a monster. Like damn near all of y'all in Hollywood are. You understand? But his case ain't no bigger and different than anybody else's. And once again, you know, the propensity for the white man to use the black woman as a tool to hate on heterosexual black men is strong. It's strong. But let me tell you something, man. All you evil black women who've been smiling and cheesing up in them homosexuals' faces, they getting you back right now. They in the Olympics, in the boxing ring. They're gonna be switching over to basketball, and they're gonna be taking over all your business and running you out of all of them. Now you got to compete with white women and white men for that job. But when you go in for the interview, instead of 5 people, it'll be 10. The other 5 will be white men dressed up in dresses with pump heels on. And they might just pass some law giving them some kind of 10% off like they do to veterans when it comes to them civil service jobs. They get them like a 10-point bump. And they might turn around and give them a bump, you know, so they can get the actual job. Like some of you don't have no business looking in the judgment because you're too stupid to look in the judgment. You're too stupid to lay out the facts. You're too self-absorbed. All you can think about is yourself and what may have happened to you or what you done experienced. So of course, now you could care less about the fact that this beast, you know, set him up. If that was any other Hollywood star with the wealth and power that Bill Cosby had, they would never even bring them charges. And here's the question. It was the state court, the state Supreme Court exonerated Bill Cosby because, of course, he had the money to fight it. What about the tens of thousands of brothers that's sitting in prison falsely, and we don't find out till 30, 40 years later? And they get out, and then they have to sign some kind of deal, taking some charge so they can't sue the state after they've been taking 30 years off of their life. What about that? Why you ain't outraged over that? Why you ain't outraged over all these brothers? I mean, it's insane to me that a black man is sitting in prison for selling weed when they have made weed illegal in the United States of America. They said that the vice president was knowingly keeping black men in prison to keep the economy going over there in California. Am I lying on that one, Yediah? Or do I got that right?
Lie, sir.
Do you understand? Like, that's a true story. Like that, like she kept them, she knew that they were supposed to be released and kept them past their release date because it kept the economy and the numbers going in California. So where's the damn outrage, Miss Hollywood? All that nastiness going on in Hollywood. Where was your voice when Weinstein was screwing every broad that ever came into the Weinstein office? And you look at him, he's a big white fat ogre that looked like he's full of disease. He remind me of that thing in Dune. You ever seen that cat in Dune, the Baron, where they inflated the Baron and he had all the pus and all of like that's who Weinstein remind me. When I saw them taking him away, I said that is the Baron. You understand? He dribble and snot on you and sexy. There you go. Oh my God! You must really want a job in Hollywood to sleep with that. like you willing to sleep with Satan if you for that Hollywood job. And meanwhile, he was raping them he was raping them a la carte. He was raping them. You know what I mean?
All he wanted.
Exactly. And where was the outrage and all that? Once again, Bill Cosby, we ain't exonerating his ass. He was disgusting rapist. Learned that behavior back in the 70s when that Spanish fly was popular. Back in the 70s, every woman had to watch out for Spanish fly. You understand? The brothers stopped doing it because they didn't want to go to jail so much. But white boys kept doing it on the college campuses. But brothers used to do it back in the day a little bit. And I think that's when Bill Cosby got a taste of that date rape and said, why spend my money and spend some time? I'll just invite them over for coffee and put a Mickey in their coffee and rape them and run them out the door into a taxi cab. Half of them said after he raped them, he reclothed them and called a cab. They waking up out the coma, he rushing them in the cab. He was a monster. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? And furthermore, the majority of them was them white women. He got a few sisters too with his sick self, but the majority of them was white women. So I ain't gonna harp on him too long with it. But the point being that these sisters better get their head ready for what's coming. This entire government propaganda to turn black men into homosexuals and black women into lesbians. This is a government movement that started with Obama. They unleashed it 12, 13 years ago. Yep. And brother, it's in full swing and they totally backing it and behind it. And they are going to attempt to emasculate every black man in America to make sure you never put on the spirit of the Lord to fix you and your people. I'm done. The water.
If I could, give my hand. If I could, sir, in that movement, the police brutality goes hand in hand with emasculating black men.
That's right.
It happens all at the same time. All at the same time. The police are belittling you, dragging you out your car, throwing you against the wall, searching you and groping you in front of your wife to emasculate you, to break your will. At the same time, they exalt women as men and exalt homosexuals or gays as the new women. And at the same time, push drugs on our community so that we can escape from the pain. And if you really hate what happened to Bill Cosby and the Bill Cosby situation, be against drug addiction.
Right.
Like I didn't hear anybody being against pills and being against Spanish fly and what's the drugs they love to take when they have sex?
The mollies and the ecstasy.
But like, where are the people going to come out against taking these pills? And Bill Cosby was doing this in the 80s. Can you imagine what has happened with pills since the 80s?
Yeah. Right.
Bill Cosby was giving out Spanish fly in the 80s. Do you know what they have now to put in a woman's drink, brother?
Yeah, they advanced big time, you know.
I mean, the industry has blown up of pills and syrups and gummy bears that people take so that they can do something and then later on not know any damn thing about it.
It's like them. They got one they can put in the drink and it'll dissolve instantly. Like it don't take no time. Like, and you can't even tell that it's been in your drink. Like if you turn your head, turn back, it's already dissolved and everything. You done.
And go ahead.
No, go ahead, General.
And you and dumbass women out there, please. If some man says, "Hey, take this, it's gonna help you relax," that's a drug. I don't know if you knew that. Yeah. That ain't aspirin. That ain't aspirin or Advil. Right. If he says, "Hey, this will make you relax," and you brothers raise your daughters, man. Yeah. Raise your daughters, not to give a damn about some celebrity or his fame, and then also raise her not to be a drug addict.
Yep.
Raise her not to take gummy bear weed and vape and pop pills, because doing something like that opens her up for a predator's advances, man.
Yes.
Consider that. And teach your son to stop trying to have sex with a woman at all costs, no matter what, even if he has to drug her to get it.
Right.
Teach your son to go through the hard work, just like that fishing. You want a woman, you got to reel her in. You got to put that bait out there and reel that woman in. Ooh, you can't just drop something in her drink so she's unconscious and you have sex with a damn near a corpse and feel like you went on a date tonight. Feel like you're a ladies' man because you take a drug. She don't know you or know anything even happened. You never gave a woman any goddamn pleasure because all of your women are in comas. You don't even know what it is to give a damn woman pleasure. Reel her in. Go ahead and seduce her and talk to her and give her things and show her how wonderful life is with you in it. And it's much better to have them. It's much better to have them that way. Teach your sons that if you want to learn something from the Bill Cosby situation, and stay away from white women. How many years are we going to have to do stories about the detriment of having sex with white women? Emmett Till's mother was trying to say this. This is a story from the 20s. A white woman saying that a black man raped her and it ruins your life. This has been going on in America alone. Forget about the UK and Canada, where they'll just take you into some school and put you in an electric chair. In America, this story is, how old is this story? A white woman said you raped her, now your life is over. Stay away from white women. If you want to learn something from the Bill Cosby story, the lesson is not to persecute Felicia Rashad, an old colored woman who's still working every day with a job, even though she's in her 70s or 80s. The lesson is stay away from drug addiction, stay away from loose sex and getting sex by drugging a woman, and stay away from white women. Salakia, sir.
Damn right. Damn right. Give it up. You know what I mean? And back in the 70s, you had to get Spanish fly from Mexico.
That's right.
Back then, you couldn't even get it in the United States. It was a horrible thing going around. And black men had the morals to get away from it and back them off of it. White men just went in the laboratory and made a better drug. You know what I mean? You got number 7, your diet? Or did we just do it?
So we just did number 7, sir.
What about 9? Let's do 9 and 10.
Colin Wakan, sir. Said 9 and 10, sir.
Please.
Colin Wakan. Think this is a joke. Ohio police chief resigns immediately when told he had minutes to exit building after video captured him leaving KKK sign on black officer's desk.
Boy, oh boy. Mariah, I pray you got the video of this, because this was the most subtle move you have ever seen Edomite make. I mean, he put this thing on the brother's uniform, brother, like you give a memo to, another person in the office. You got the footage by any chance, Mariah?
Colin Wakan, sir.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. The water. Go ahead and read some more, you die, while he pulls up the video. It's going to be amazing.
Colin Wakan, sir. Keep reading, sir.
No, if he got it, go ahead. If you got it, Mariah. You need more time, Mariah? Or you got it?
Dave, we wanted to talk to you about the internal investigation. The I-team going to see the man who just stepped down as the Sheffield Lake Police
Check him out. Look how cool he is.
Police booking room video shows Chief Anthony Campo leaving a note on the raincoat of an African-American officer. The city says the writing in the note was a form of racial intimidation. The chief got intimidating at his front door.
You're on private property. Okay, you've been warned. You're on private property.
We'll be glad to leave. We just came for comment.
Leave.
It's embarrassing, it's disgusting, and it's bad.
Mayor Dennis Spring says he met with the officer. He choked up talking about it.
Very tough. And we discussed things, and by the time he left, he understood. And I said, I hope you don't leave here.
Back it up again to see.
The mayor says Anthony Campo served as chief.
And where the notice was, because of course, the mayor got to cry. He don't want niggas going crazy in his town. He gotta act like it's the end of the world. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, he don't give it. The chief would have never done it if he thought he was going to get it. Look at how smooth he is about it. Look at this. Just like you know, like you leave a memo on somebody's desk. Like no big deal. The brother pick it up. You can come back to us to water, Marah. I appreciate it. Like that's who you working with. That's who's working with you next door. Listen, if you on a job, if you drinking coffee from the general coffee machine, you eating them donuts people bringing in, they bring every other day, they bringing in donuts and crumpets, and you eating that nonsense, you out your damn mind. Right. Because this is a subtle snake that hates your guts. He did it so smooth and did it for the brother to not see it. The only reason he saw it because somebody wired up his own office. That's why he got caught. They wired up his office and he got caught. But if they had not had them cameras in there, that brother would have had to go to work every day knowing that one of these Edomites he's working with is a Klansman that wants to take his damn life. And look, he talking to the chief talking to him like everything is cool. Look at how they all wonder. I don't know what happened.
I don't know who did that.
What's going on? Look at him laughing about it like it's a big joke. You understand? And meanwhile, he got to work in there with these monsters. Huh? Look at him Crump bent over like, look what they sent me. Look at this. Like, can you believe this? He don't even know it's this bastard he's talking to.
Sir, he got a box in his desk that he put all his KKK letters in.
Yes. Look, he reading the letter to him, young man, looking for an ally. Poor brother, man. Poor brother. You gotta go to, that's what you gotta go to work with. Look how he bent. You saw how he crumped over like I'm a good slave. Go back, Marah, one more time. Like that was a slave bow. Like, look at that. Look at that. That was a heartbreak.
Send me another one.
That's why he put the camera up too.
And here's the sad part. He's going to hold your legs while the white cop busts your head open. He's gonna be the one holding you down while the other cop is splitting your damn head. Like, and he bent over. Did you see the way he crumped over like master?
It's sad as it can be.
This is look. Oh,
that little back is depressing.
Yeah, man. I'm finna be unemployed. I'm not. I'm not going there. You understand? Like, and they just laughing. Look how they laughing and paying him no mind. Look at the Edomite. He cracking up like I don't know what's going on.
You know what's crazy, sir? If I could, right?
Come.
They got rid of that fucking chief, right? But what they not realizing, it don't stop with the chief. The chief's buddies and that department that's down with him, that's on the same level with him, and the same organization, they just don't know about it. And all they did is they can go on the ground even more. It's not going to change, and they ain't going to stop. They're going to still be who they're going to be. And any mistake that cat make, he done.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
They're going to rob his tail, but the tail is gone. Any mistake he make, he done. You know what I mean? For bringing that out. And it's not going to stop them because they are innocent. Everybody, you got to be a fool. And even if you really want to be master, and these type of jobs, everybody knows the characteristics of who you work for and who you don't work for. Everybody know it. They know these cats and how they act and how they roll. They already know. He already knew. He already knew.
And that chief, he didn't talk about it to them buddies you tell. He didn't talk about it before you.
Yes. Go ahead, General Salaki. Go ahead.
Like they knew they knew this was gonna happen. That's what the chuckles is for. Like, oh man, what? Let me see. Oh, we don't know. They know the chief.
Yeah, they know it's the chief, and he take it right to the chief. Like, chief, any movement on investigating who keeps leaving me these letters? I'm looking into it, Jim. Okay, chief.
Jim probably knows. All right, chief.
You know what I'm saying? Oh man, talk about abuse.
Good sad.
All right. God. Go on to 10, Marah.
Cut on one count, sir.
Colonel McCon. So going to number 10, sir?
Please.
Colonel McCunn. The city of Paterson, New Jersey announced Wednesday that the officer caught on camera physically assaulting an unarmed black man in late May will be terminated.
We got footage on that?
Keep reading.
Colonel McCon, sir, we do. I'm pulling it up now, sir.
Slock it. Keep reading. You're not slocking.
Colonel McCon, sir. It was deplorable what I witnessed. Mayor Andre said about the footage of the encounter during a news conference and intolerable. That's why we reached this point. He said his administration served the officer with papers seeking his termination. The 2-minute video released by the mayor's office shows Officer Spencer Finch punching the unidentified black man before kneeing him forcibly in the face after he was placed in handcuffs.
I mean, like nothing never happened with George Floyd. Like nothing never happened. They're going to reinforce their abuse of the Lord's chosen people, man. Which is why the Lord is so much smarter than stupid ass man. Like the Lord gave every nation their portion. And in Christ's kingdom, any nation cross them borders to invade another nation, Christ's going to come down on them up and destroy them, because every nation going to serve his kingdom. Because you have to be able to protect yourself, man, from the monsters of these other nations who would prey on you. And that's exactly what has been happening to black people for 400 plus years.
Damn right.
Seen attacking a father distraught about being separated from his children. The assault captured on a police body camera sent shockwaves throughout the community. The victim is seen interacting with another officer who is attempting to calm him down when suddenly Officer Finch walks into the frame and repeatedly punches the man. Once on the ground in cuffs, Officer Finch appears to strike the man with full force with his knee.
It was deplorable, what I witnessed, and intolerable.
May 26th incident where he's seen attacking a father distraught about being separated from his children.
Listen, I got to give it to the brother. I got to give it to that brother. That brother might have took a beating, but he taxed the hell out that cop for that illegal assault. Like he stood up to that. Look, he stood up to that cop. He backed that devil up. If the other two cops didn't stop him, he wouldn't have been on the ground. Now he done been handcuffed. He handcuffed and everything, and now the bastard gonna hit him. Like you went up and assaulted him illegally, and you mad because he defended himself because you illegally assaulted him. Look at his head. Like this is, and once again over there in Jersey, they like animals over there, man. Some cops over there, they like animals over there. Like that was evil as hell. And the mayor was too relaxed about it any damn way. They probably who knows? They probably tell them cops, look, man, as long as you don't get caught on tape, you good. You get caught on tape, well, we got to cut you loose. Now they got the man down, they put him in handcuffs, they beating the hell out of him, but that ain't enough for this piece of garbage. He got to knee him in the face while he handcuffed. You understand? And let me say this. They fired him for kneeing the brother in the face while handcuffed. They didn't fire him for assaulting him when he was on his feet. Like the mayor ain't even mentioned that part. They gonna fire him because he kneed him in the face while he handcuffed. What about the assault that they gave him because he distraught? He got set. He went to court, and just like this animal that rules over us, went and gave custody of his kids to a woman. His woman, and now he has no custody of his kids. He's upset that he's being separated from his kids. But to this animal cop, that's intolerable. Like you gotta go to court. He take away all your kids from you, and you can't even be upset. Not assault nobody, not anything, but you can't even be upset. You got to walk out of the court and say, thank you, Your Honor, for taking all my kids. You have a nice day. God bless you. Like you got to walk out of court happy all the time, which is why these people they unfit to rule over God's people. You understand? Which is why the Lord going to punish him and destroy all the empires of this world, because this is ridiculous. He lost his children. The man lost his children, but these animals, when it comes to black men, which is why black men got to come together in the truth. because when it comes to black men, there is no compassion. No. Compassion for what? Like you looking for compassion from a monster. You're looking for compassion from Satan. And what are you looking for compassion for him for? We should come, like that brother right there should be in court with 2 or 3 other brothers. And them brothers go with him to court, fight the case with him, counsel him before he go to court, counsel him after he get out of every court session, make plans for him in any way he can. You understand? Like that's what Christ is pushing us to build. That's why we come together in this brotherhood. Like he's out there by himself. And instead, because he don't know better, he's upset. And they go and beat the hell out of him. You understand? And Paul said they're getting ready to charge him with a hate crime, Paul? Or they're going to charge the cop with the hate crime?
Thinks they'll win.
Oh, right. When are they going to ever? They ain't never going to do that. If they didn't do it back in Rodney King in the 90s, they ain't doing it no other time. And listen, and the slap that he gave this brother was like you slap a child. Okay. Like he slapped him like that was his son or something. Like he slapped him like you a little boy. Yeah. You throw in a tantrum. When he's a grown man that lost his children, but he slap him in the head like you're a child acting up because you want to go to the playground, or you're a child that wants another piece of candy when you had too much candy. Like that's how he treated this brother when he went up in there and bust him upside his head. You understand? Like that's how they think of us. And brother, it's why we should come together and serve Christ and damn them out. Like they full of anger and rage when we killing ourselves. Like we killing us. And they more mad at that. You know, because really they looking for a reason to be angry and have rage and abuse us because of how miserable and evil their life is and how they know in their hearts their future is useless, man.
That's it.
Salakia.
If I could,
come on.
That type of cat right there, like I've been saying, keep saying this. He has done this before.
For sure.
The same with Derek Chauvin and all them other cops who abuse people. They have done it before and have gotten away with it, and they've always done this here, and everybody know it. Just his body language when he walked up to him was no more officer. It was more like we in the streets. And when he hit him, like you ain't supposed to, no matter where you at in this land called America, if you got a badge and a gun and you're a certified police officer, you are not to assault no one who ain't assault nobody else. If he upset, once again, all these cops get trained a certain way, no matter what department it is, or de-escalation skills. And not one of the de-escalation skills say you start off smacking somebody who ain't caused somebody harm. He in the hallway mad about whatever happened by his kids. So who are you to come smack him? That's one charge you should have right there. That's an assault charge.
Exactly.
That's a dereliction of duty charge too for being a dereliction. You ain't doing your duty right. That caused him to defend himself. You see, he put his hands up. He put his hands up in a blocking motion, like I'm blocking what you trying to do to me. The first thing he did.
He backed that Edomite the hell up. He threw him up against the wall. He threw that cop up against the wall. The other 2 cops had to jump in. They had to save his white ass. Look at that. Look at the throw up. Look at the throw up. Booyah! He off balance. He was off balance right there. You understand? You know what I mean? He lucky the brother ain't dropped the sweep on him. He went all the way to the ground. He was already off balance. All he needed was a little sweep. Pop that ankle out. He was going down. You understand? Because that once again, and remember now, they did not charge him for this. He didn't get charged for that. He only got charged for when he got down on the ground and he hit him in the face with the knee. That's the charge. The charge down. Oh, okay, got cut. But that's the charge.
That's why I was saying, if I could, that's why I was saying he initiated by smacking that man. And because that's not right. That's like dereliction of duty.
That's right.
That's assault. Right. You're supposed to do that coming off nobody like that. You ain't supposed to. And him kneeing him was because he knew that brother got over on him. And if he didn't have help, he would have been done. So his retaliation was once we get you in cuffs, I got my people with me, I'm going to need you, teach you a lesson that don't ever do this again. When he was wrong from the beginning.
Exactly.
From straight up the street, he was wrong.
I bet you that's how a lot of brothers end up dead. Like that's in the courthouse, but I bet you on the street, that's how a lot of brothers end up dead because they go and assault you. And then when you go defend yourself, They more enraged that they just couldn't assault you and you shut up like a little boy. You understand? Like they more upset over that. Like these people are inhumane. Like you lose your children, you in court and lose your babies, and this bastard beats you upside the head because you're upset that you lost your babies. Which once again, why young black men see this, and they come up and they hate the woman they with, and they that's why they'll sleep with a woman, and the minute she says she's pregnant, that's why they walk the hell away, because this animal ruling over them is trying to beat the spirit of manhood and fatherhood out of them. And if I could, the day gonna come when the Lord gonna when these sisters gonna pay for taking these brothers away from them. And once again, this is such a cruel and evil world. Because you carry a baby for 9 months, according to God, you have no authority over that child. The authority over that child is the man's. In Christ's kingdom, it ain't gonna be a discussion of women's rights when it comes to the children. It ain't gonna be no discussion. The discussion is that man has the last authority over the children. You ain't gonna be able to take the children and walk out and destroy his family. You can't do that. You understand? And then he'll have the tools he needs to raise up his family and to stop the evil going on around him. But you can't decide that you like, some other drug dealer from the corner. So now you throw him out his house, take his kids away, and go deal with somebody else. And you ain't gonna be able to decide that because he ain't coming up with enough money, or because he got some problem that's stopping him from succeeding in this hellhole, you ain't going to be able to now just decide to rip his children out of his bosom and go about your business in whatever stupid way and idea you think you can be better. There was 83 shootings in Chicago. You black women are not doing a great job. You might want to consider doing things a little bit differently, because certainly you are not excelling at the job. And then the nerve to have these kind of evil laws that totally emasculate a black man, and then the nerve to turn around and say black men are being deadbeats, or black men are being this and that. Let me tell you something, man. The average brother loves his babies.
That's right.
He loves his baby so much that he knows that if he allows this woman to use these babies to control him, he knows that his life is over. He knows that he's about to become a slave to that woman, because that's how much he loves his children. And as a result of it, you know what he does? He walks out the door and you never see him again. And you think, in your stupid mind, you think he ain't love these kids, or he'd be here right now. He ain't love these kids. That's why he ain't here, right? He wasn't SHIT from the beginning. What you don't know is that he loved them kids dearly. But your disgusting, malmute monkey ass was intolerable to him, was so emasculating to him that he had to choose his soul over his babies. And for that, a lot of black women are going to be punished by the hand of the Most High. Like that brother should keep that tape, and he should show that tape to his children one day and say, this is what I suffered because I cared about you, and your mother used the beast to overthrow me.
Damn right.
You understand? Like that's what he should learn. And then and once again, a daughter needs nothing. There's nothing more than a daughter needs than her father. That's like right. Without a daughter without her father is a horrible, horrible tragedy to have to grow up and live without. And for her to have to live without her father because your stinking behind didn't count up enough money at the end of the week out of his pocket, so she got to grow up with no father, is terrorism.
Yeah,
it's the equivalent of terrorism to black and Latino people, man. You have no authority. That authority that this beast is giving them is only for a temporary time. It's only for a time. After this time is up, when we get in Christ's kingdom, if you mention trying to take a brother's children away, you're going to be arrested for attempted family destruction.
That's right.
You're going to be locked up according to the scriptures. You're going to be locked the hell up because you're not supposed to do it, man. And big shout out to all those ISUPK sisters who went and dropped the child support court cases against brothers, man, for the righteousness of their own children, man. You understand? I listened in on a case. I heard the after tapes of a case recently, going back a few months, where a sister, where y'all was having the counsel and a sister, and they came in and you questioned the sister and said, well, sister, are you taking the brother on? And her children was from a brother in the world, and she was going with a brother in the truth. And y'all questioned her on it, and the sister said, no, I dropped the child support case against him. And brother, she said it like it was not a big deal. Like, no, I knew better. I dropped the child support case. And he went on talking like it was nothing. And I said, boy, oh boy, that sister there is in the right spirit. Like, she didn't care. She didn't worry about the future. She worried about what decision she was making right now. And she made the right decision. Even though he was in the world, she still dropped the child support case. And once again, you ain't never going to turn this around and have fathers and have good sons and have well-raised daughters if you ain't willing to sacrifice whatever you have to sacrifice to not destroy a brother or sister because the Edomites tell you that that's what you need to do. And in all honor and in all fairness to the sisters, a lot of you sisters, tens of thousands of you sisters out there would not take brothers to child support court, which is why Esau came up with the law to force you to take them to child support court if you're receiving any assistance from the government.
Yep, that's it.
That was directly to stop you sisters who were not bringing brothers to court, even though the brother may not have been able to hold a job or whatever the case may be. I mean, you see these brothers, they walking around like nomads in this kingdom over what they done suffered in this place. And you sitting up there, it's a shock if they do have a job. It's like an amazing thing. If a brother can get up and go to a 40-hour-a-week job every day in this kingdom, it's an amazing thing. And listen, and here's what everybody should see. Like, do you think brothers is choosing Uber for no reason? Brothers is choosing Uber because they don't have to sit under an Edomite humiliating them as a supervisor. And they don't have to sit under the one thing that's even worse than that is your weed wearing, long eyebrow, too much makeup, arrogant, loud mouth black woman supervisor trying to emasculate him and sleep with him at the same time. Like that's worse than even Esau. And so rather than go through that, they just go get an Uber and just drive Uber to escape that part of hell. Get away from that small. Listen, I know. Y'all don't know. I know because back in the 80s, Muhammad, you know, I had to get away from Esau back then. Go ahead. I ain't got to bring it all.
I know he's tight with the time. I want to make sure you went over the story about Wendy Williams.
Oh man,
Wendy Williams and the weed. We got about 10 minutes. I just wanted to remind you of him. That was it.
Please, do we have the story in the stories?
Kind of one kind.
Let's go there. Let's go there while we got 10 minutes because that's right on what we saying.
Kind of one kind.
Tabitha Brown issues a righteous read after Wendy Williams criticized her decision to retire her husband.
Like man, oh man, that was so noble. Now, you know what I mean? Now I know she coming from a Christian point of view, but she in the right spirit with that man.
I'm familiar with the story. Could you? I'm not sure what we're talking about.
Okay, let me break it down for you. This sister, whose husband, worked together with her. She's like a chef, an online chef. She became famous for I think cooking and makeup, women stuff. And so she started making money and getting famous and her videos getting out there and she getting on shows. she started making money. So her husband, who was a police officer, who also helped her go to school, she decided to have him retire. She said, I want to retire you. And it was heavy because she used the words retire you. And she said, I want to retire you. In other words, she wanted him to get off the job, and she was going to now pay him. She was going to be his employer now. His employer was going to be her, and she was going to take care of him, and he's off the job. And he worked for 15 years after they had discussed this thing. He worked for 15 more years as a police officer, and then he retired. And she made a tape about it, that I retired my husband. Well, brother, the black women went crazy. They went so crazy that possible drag queen Wendy Williams chimed in and got mad as hell and told her, been there, done that. I did everything for him. I did this, I did that, I did this, and he still left for another woman. And what was so heavy, and I don't know if we have the tape, but what was so heavy was that the sister came back in such a, you know, in trying to be so magnanimous with Wendy Williams' nasty behind, and said that, you know, I wish you get that kind of love. I wish you could get that. But me and my husband had an agreement. We came together, we worked this thing out, and, you know, and basically, if y'all got the tape, we can play some of the tape of what she said to when she came back on Wendy Williams. But black women went crazy. They said, that's what the hell he's supposed to be doing. And that's this and this and that. And if I could, here's what was, before you play it, here's what was so evil about the comments. What was so evil about the comments was none of those women looked at her life and his life. Which is why a woman can't be in charge of judgment, because those women all looked at their own lives and how messed up their life was, and they judged this sister wrong for retiring her husband when they had become successful. She making plenty of money, and she said, I want to get you off that job. That's her there. And come to find out, guess what the brother wanted to do? The brother got off the police job and then opened a nonprofit educating young black and Latino inner city kids. That's what he did. That was his passion. That's what he wanted to do. He saw so much on the street. He wanted to do that, but he couldn't do it being on the slavery. She made so much money doing her thing that she turned around and retired him off of that job. Like, that is how a righteous woman operates, man. You understand? Now, regardless of her, damn right. And if I could, the deeper part of this is that the same demon that beguiled Eve in the garden is running loose in this earth right now. And it's going to take a really special woman like the sisters in the I.S.U.P.K to come out of the world completely and to be able to make that transition from being a demon against black men to being a caretaker of black men so that they could stand up and correct this kingdom, man. Like, this is a perfect example of how things should go in that type of situation. Okay, I mean, for their life. This ain't for everybody's life, but it's for their life. So let's play the tape if we could, y'all. If you got the video.
That's by Wendy Williams, honey. God bless you. God bless you. Okay.
Tabitha Brown has no hard feelings about Wendy Williams weighing in on her marriage. The actress and TikTok sensation responded to Wendy's recent comments about Tabitha now being able to retire her husband after he spent 15 years as a Los Angeles police officer while she pursued her Hollywood dreams. Tabitha celebrated the happy news with her YouTube followers and shared just how much it means to her to have achieved such a long-standing goal and give her husband the same opportunity he gave her.
Trying to take away that,
It has
that
been
feedback.
an emotional roller coaster.
And Access Hollywood might clip you if you play too much footage anyway. You probably should just play the audio anyway. We don't got to see her face. Just push the audio and don't take the video out because they might flag it. That's why we going over to blackwatch.news, y'all. BLACKWATCH.news. Y'all got to come over to BLACKWATCH.news. Hit the subscribe button, man. We tooling it up now. Big shout out to General Shalom, man, and all the brothers in the video department. Man, he's tooling that website up. We're going to get that up and running and get the one for the school up and running and get everybody on board, and we ain't going to be hindered no more with this truth. You understand? So if you could, Doc, I didn't mean to run so long. Go ahead. Let's get it in. Let's hear what she had to say. If you got it, Mara.
As we know, it's been tough as a black man, and then also being an officer. It has been very tough. And when my husband went on this journey, he really felt like he could make a difference. And I know that he has in his community. I know that he has done his part. But I also know that it's time for him to dream again. It's time for him to think like a child and think, ooh, when I grow up, what do I want to be? And it's something else. It's time for a new journey, a new chance at life, right? And God has blessed us. He has blessed me that I can retire my husband. Hello. Not 5 years, but 15. And honey, we're going to take it, okay?
Though Tabitha's announcement was met with a flood of congratulations.
Yeah, yeah, that's good enough. She got a ton of congratulations, but she also got hell from Wendy. You gonna move up to the part where she speak to Wendy?
I'm gonna try to. She spoke to Wendy, sir.
Yeah, like she made a tape replying after Wendy Williams made her tape.
Hello.
She came back with her tape.
Good.
Responding to Wendy Williams. But she responded so magnanimously towards Wendy Williams.
God.
You understand? She tried to show compassion on Wendy Williams, and I don't know how anybody stayed with Wendy Williams anyway. She looked completely like a drag queen. Salakia.
Her soul is ugly, sir.
That's the problem.
Ugly soul.
That's the problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got the raw footage, so I'm gonna play that from YouTube.
Yeah, I'm not sure. You might still. It's probably still the same, Mara. You got to go with the audio.
Jam us up.
We need to pay.
I think that's the story anyway.
Yeah, I think that's it anyway. I think everybody gets the idea on what it is that we dealing with. You got 2 minutes. You got time for one more if you want to squeeze one more in. You die.
The Olympic weed story, sir, Mara.
I mean, if you could, I mean, you got something else behind me because my head gonna pop off if I hear another Negro try to justify that sister smoking weed.
No,
like a ton of black people, all these black pundits now coming up with why she needed to take that weed and why what she was suffering and all that. Like, damn that. Like, what she needed to do was quit the damn Olympics and go to her mother's funeral. Like nobody's sitting up there saying the Olympics. I guess I'm going into it anyway, right? It's a lot here. For those that may not know, a black woman who's an Olympic track star got disqualified by Esau because she was caught with marijuana or weed in her system. So they disqualified her. They put her out. I don't know why nobody would be shocked. They hate you. And that's why they coming up against you with all these things. Like, we keep getting shocked every time the Edomites do something racist against us in a new arena. This is what they do to keep us in line. When we gonna wake up on it? Now, her mother passed away. She was in pain and suffering and said that's why she smoked the weed. Some bougie black people got offended.
We're back.
And say again?
No, that was just continue.
Okay, some bougie black people got offended that she got caught smoking weed because she didn't keep up the Negro reputation in the Olympics.
13 now with a stunning.
Then other ones turned around and jumped up and said that it was all right, that she didn't do nothing wrong, and why weed CBD oil helps you and works with anxiety and all this other stupid nonsense. When the real problem is, we go. You can come on back to me, Mara. We gonna jump off of it in a second. Oh, there she go. Like, all that stupidity out. When really, what she needed to do was just quit them damn Olympics. And it's a shame she got to run on that track halfway in porno, in them stupid little outfits and them thongs damn near, with her butt cheeks out for the entire world to gawk at. You understand? It's not a badge of honor. I understand they want to compete and it's their job and they want to make money because they get endorsements and all of that. But we got to look to our own, man, to fix our own. Like, it's a shame that a woman of her athletic ability can't raise a family and build up some children and have the same honor and glory that she would have when she puts on a pair of tights and runs her halfway naked behind down a track for the amusement of Edomites, so that Edomites can say, yay, and gawk at her ability to run down the track. Like, what the hell world we living in when what should be glorious is her ability to raise her babies, to make a great family, to raise up that brother that the Lord put her with. That don't get no love. And you understand? And of course, to appease a demon, you have to keep adding more and more to yourself. And so I'm not surprised she got to get high, because this demon will never be satisfied until it takes your life. Okay? Y'all can jump in if y'all want to get in.
Yeah, I think obviously Yediah.
If I may, sir, what you bring out is so heavy. It's a lot of people that made excuses for the sister. I went on Twitter the other day, and LaMelo Ball and everybody else was like, if it ain't crack, let her run.
Damn.
So I might be able to help if you don't mind.
Please, General, please.
This goes for, let me give you the mystery to this story, which is in this story, the Bill Cosby story, every story. What happens to celebrities just doesn't matter. The mystery to this story is this story means nothing. It means nothing that this girl can't run in the Olympics. You know who was good? The girl who ran last Olympics. What was her name? You see,
who
right?
the hell knows?
Right. You see? What about that brother that ran the last one? What was that brother name that ran the last Olympics? What was his name again?
Don't nobody know.
You see, right? You see what's the problem? We are wrapped up in this story as if it means anything.
You're right.
It means nothing. People make money to keep you locked on your phone.
Right.
They make money. When this doesn't matter, the Olympics is irrelevant. None of it means anything. Here's what does matter. You are not going to get a job because you get high.
Right.
That matters. You're going to lose your children in court. GEN.YAHANNA said in the kingdom of heaven, black men will be in charge of their children. You should all want that day, because you know who's in charge of your kids today? Child Protective Services. Yep. And they're coming in your door and they're going to tell you who you can be married to, who your boyfriend can be. They're going to look in your child's bedroom and see if they have enough toys. They're going to tell you your religion. They're going to tell you what you can do to that child and what you can't. Child Protect Services, they're in charge of your child now. And guess what? If you're a drug addict, you're not getting your child. No one can stop smoking weed. That's the problem. The problem is when your job drug tests you, you're going to get high the day of your drug test. Do you know how many brothers are in jail on parole? They get drug tested regularly, and their urine is dirty every time because they're addicts. No one can stop. That's what matters. What matters is you're going to jail over it. You're breaking the conditions of your parole over it. You're not going to get a job over it. She's not going to run. You're going to forget her in 3 months. This doesn't matter. Right. Salakia, sir.
Damn right. Damn right. So with that, I want to tell everybody, man, please pay your tithes, support this truth. ISUPK.com is the website. Support that truth. Also, check out the new BLACKWATCH website, blackwatch.news. Check that out, man. Big shout out again to General Shalom for bringing it up. Hit the subscribe button over there. We'll be going live over there in another week or so. A lot of new stuff we're going to add to the channel, man. I want to thank all the heavy hitters in the building tonight. General Muhammad, General Maka'ala, General Hazayan, and also Officer Moran, Yediah, and their whole team putting this together. You understand? I'll see y'all next time live on the UPK, y'all. Shalom.
Yeah. 144 to yeah. Yeah.
Everybody ain't built for this, man. I'm telling you.
Man, the Israelite School of U.P.K and Commander Gen.YAHANNA presents Hebrew Academy, man, at the 52nd annual Passover, man. We are an elite group amongst an elite group, man. We the set apart of the set apart. This ain't for everybody, man. Everybody is not required to do the Hebrew Academy. But if you desire to bleed and sweat, man, for these covers, man, if you desire to anguish and pain and all the suffering that it takes to attain this greatness, man, then present yourself worthy at the 52nd annual Passover, man, hosted by Commander Gen.YAHANNA at the BH Ranch on April 24th at 14149 Player Street in Houston, Texas, man. Shalom.
Everybody ain't built for this, man. I'm telling you.
I'm on the grind. Let's get to it. Double time and believe. You ain't harming me, nigga. I brought a whole army of niggas. So I ain't move with precision. Follow every order given. Let's get to it. Make it the race. Get to it. Ain't taking no shit. Get to it. You take a loss, try to bounce back, but you blew it. Let me show you how to do it. Undisputed, I can prove